Джонни Ноксвилл и Арнольд Шварценеггер. Я хотел спросить, господин Шварценеггер не снимался в главных ролях в кино несколько лет. Когда он вышел на съемочную площадку фильма «The Last Stand», испытывал ли он волнение как новичок, или годы, которые он провел вне съемочной площадки, никак не отразились на нем?
Чего переводчика не надо?
First, I would like to say thank you to Raya and to Premium Film Universal.
В первую очередь я хотел бы поблагодарить компанию приглашающих, компанию Norai, Premium Film и компанию Universal.
For hosting us here and for bringing us here to Moscow.
За то, что они пригласили нас и принимают нас в Москве.
It's a great pleasure for me to be here today with Johnny Nokсвилл, one of the great actors and great comedians.
Это огромное счастье для меня быть здесь, рядом с Джонни Ноксвиллом, замечательным актером и прекрасным комедиантом.
And it is great for me to be back in Moscow. I've been here many times.
Я очень рад вернуться в Москву, в которой я был уже много раз. Ребята, вы слышите перевод? Не надо ответ переводить. Пожалуйста. Микрофон.
Добрый день, Михаил Гурич, посетили. Во-первых, спасибо за ваше возвращение в кино. Фильм вчера мы посмотрели, он понравился.
Одну минуту, сейчас перевод не дадут, ушел.
Мне хотелось бы спросить, как ваш опыт, полученный в политике, повлияет на вашу деятельность в искусстве? Может быть, вы захотите сыграть какого-то реального исторического героя, что сейчас популярный в списке на Оскар, в этом году несколько лет основано на реальных событиях. Спасибо.
Well, first of all, let me just finish your question first, which was I scared going from politics back into films? And I don't think there was anything scary about it, because I had the chance of doing a film first with Sylvester Stallone, which was called The Expendables. And this was kind of a cameo, and that kind of gave me a little warm-up before I went to Mexico and did the film The Last Stand. I think in the beginning you always are concerned, would the people or the fans accept you back to be a star in the movie, to be the leading man in the movie. But I think after I saw the reaction in the film The Expendables, when I came on the screen, there was always applause by the audience. So I knew that there was a positive reaction, so I felt really good about that. And I felt confident that the people would welcome me back into the movie business. So I am very happy that I've chosen this character of Sheriff Owens to be a tough sheriff in a little town in the United States and on the Mexican border, and but someone that has been considered, you know, kind of a little bit over the hill. Someone that's about to retire, and nobody expected him to be able to do the kind of things that he does in order to succeed. And so I felt good with the character that I played, and there will be in the future playing interesting characters like that.
Пожалуйста, вопрос.
Здравствуйте, Лариса Мулькова, «Новая газета». Я бы хотела спросить в продолжении предыдущего вопроса, какой опыт политика вы могли принести в профессию, возвращаясь сегодня в нее?
I think that, you know, the last time I've starred in a film was 10 years ago, in 2003, which was Terminator 3. And I think since then, I've gotten wiser, and I think that because of my experience in politics, and because of my experience as governor of the great state of California, I think that that really has added to my acting ability because of the experiences that I've had. So there's no two ways about it that, you know, what I've learned in acting helped me in my political career, and what I have learned in politics helped me in my acting career.
Пожалуйста, вопрос справа.
Михаил Верещагин, добрый день. Радиокомпания много очень представила, независимый журналист, так будет проще. Скажите, пожалуйста, как публичный человек и герой для многих, какую проблему современного мира, которая требует особенного участия, вы считаете самой серьезной и самой важной для вас? Благодарю.
The question was, if you could repeat it again. Yeah. You know, I'm not here so much to talk about politics because I'm here to promote a movie. That was my previous career. But I think in general, I would say that everywhere in the world, people are interested in working and having a job. And so therefore I think that the immediate thing that is important in the whole world is to get the economy back again, because we've gone through a long recession worldwide. To get the economy back again so that we create jobs, if it is in Austria, if it's in Russia, if it is in America, if it is overseas, anywhere in African nations, in the Middle East, wherever it is, people want to work. So I think that's number one. Number two, I think we have to go into a sustainable energy future, which means that you have to create energy through technology that will keep us from polluting the world. Because there's a lot of countries all over the world that are big polluters, and I think we're destroying our globe, we're destroying our world. So it's very important that we all work together, all the nations work together in order to create a sustainable energy future, where we use the energy from the wind and from the water and from the sun, rather than just fossil fuels.
Хорошо.
Добрый день, Арнольд, спасибо, что приехали. Иван Николаев, Мета Интернешнл. У меня вопрос про вашу следующую работу. По-английски она называется The Tomb, по-моему, в нашем переводе «Могила» с Сильвестром Сталлоне. Вот расскажите про этот проект, пожалуйста, потому что я уже видел одно из ваших интервью, немногих по этому поводу. Как вам работалось на съемках, о чем будет этот проект, и у вас такой образ там специфический, вы, насколько я видел, седой, и играете такого заключенного, и как вы относитесь к этому проекту? Спасибо.
I appreciate your question very much, but I tried. First of all, let me just say it was a great pleasure to work with Sylvester Stallone. I've done the Expendables movies with him, and it's always a lot of fun working with him because he's a very passionate man. But I would like to talk more about the movie The Last Stand, since that's the movie that I'm here to promote. And like I said, it's a great pleasure for me to be here with Johnny Noksville. And you should ask him also some questions, because he has been such an important character in the movie The Last Stand, because he creates the comic relief, which is so important in the movie. This movie has a lot of action, it has a lot of chase scenes, a lot of fight scenes, a lot of shootouts, and everything. It's a traditional Schwarzenegger movie, but at the same time, like True Lies, it has also the comic relief. And Johnny was responsible for that, and of course you all know him from his movies. There's the Jackass, you know, where he is one of those actors that my whole family admire. The kids love him in the movies, and I was a big fan of his, so I was really looking forward to working with him. But maybe you would like to say a few words, Johnny.
First of all, spasibo. And I'm so happy to be back in Russia. I've been here, it's my 4th time, and I really love the country and the people, and I have on red for Russia today. My shoes, my sweater, and yes, I'm very proud of The Last Stand. I got to work with Arnold Schwarzenegger, who I grew up idolizing, and you know, I was very intimidated to meet him. you know, because he is who he is, but he was so kind and made everyone feel so comfortable on the set. And yeah, I had a ball. It's a dream come true working with him. And we had a wonderful director, Kim Ji-woon, who directed The Good, Bad, and the Weird and many wonderful films. Are you translating this, or? Okay, great. Because I'm just rattling on. But Kim Ji-woon's a brilliant director. We had a great cast, and just so happy to be back in Russia.
Ольга Стрельцова, телеканал ТВ-центр, программа «Спешите видеть». Здравствуйте. Здравствуйте, Арнольд, и с возвращением. У вас отличная новая роль. Скажите, как вы просчитываете успех каждого нового дела, нового фильма, за который вы беретесь? Раскройте свой секрет.
Well, first of all, let me just say it is the first time that I have been to Russia with a film. I've never really been here to promote a film. I've come here for many reasons. I remember that I was a big fan of Russia, and especially at the beginning of Russian weightlifters. That's why I got into weightlifting and into bodybuilding, because I admired Russian weightlifters. If it was Yuri Vlasov, or Chapotinsky, or Alexiev, these were all my heroes. And so I came to visit them, I remember in the 70s and in the 80s. And then we did, of course, the great Heat here, a film, which we shot partially in Russia. And then I came over here on a trade mission as the governor of the state of California. And that was a wonderful trip and a great experience. And this time is the first time that I've been here in this country to promote a film. I think it's great to have a whole new market here, that our films are opening up here and they can be shown here, as much as we look forward to seeing Russian films in the United States and all over the world. I think that the movie business has become a global business, and I think those movies should be shown worldwide. So I hope that I have as much success with my films over here as I've had with other things in Russia.
Пожалуйста.
Здравствуйте, Илья Мальков, Видео.ру. Вопрос и Арнольду Шварценеггеру, и Джонни Ноксвиллу. Скажите, пожалуйста, в новом фильме очень много различной музыки. А я знаю, что вы занимаетесь спортом до сих пор. Занимаетесь ли вы спортом под какую-то музыку, и если да, то под какую? А также хотелось бы пожелать сэру Арнольду Шварценеггеру поработать с Джеймсом Кэмероном еще раз. Спасибо.
Well, first of all, I would work with Jim Cameron anytime again. As a matter of fact, Jim Cameron is a very good friend of mine, and we have done several movies together. And the movies that we have done together all were very successful because he's a very talented director. And when we don't do films together, we work on environmental issues together. As you know, he's as much a fanatic about protecting the environment as I am. And we are together producing with Jerry Weintraub a whole series for Showtime that will be shown on television worldwide about the importance of protecting the environment. So we're working on many different levels, and we give speeches around the world about the environment and so on. You know, he is a very talented guy, but I think he's going to be occupied with his next two projects over the next few years. And the music, by the way, the music that I'm listening to is, I love country western music, American country western music.
Пожалуйста.
У меня вопрос к Джонни. В каждом герое должно быть немного сумасшедшенки, как это герой вашего фильма. И у меня вопрос к Арнольду.
Пожалуйста, один вопрос.
Извините,
Ничего.
один вопрос к каждому. Арнольду.
Один вопрос.
Хорошо, вопрос к Арнольду. У нас в России есть поговорка «старый конь борозды не испортит». Примерно ту же фразу вы говорите в фильме. Что означает для актера умение красиво играть возрастные роли? Спасибо.
Well, it was very difficult for me to play an older guy because I feel so young. But I mean, the character was such that he was about to retire, and therefore he is a somewhat vulnerable character because he's not anymore like he used to be when he was on an LA SWAT team, where he was one of the toughest guys. So age has caught up with that character. he's about to retire, and now all of a sudden you have those very dangerous drug cartel, members of a drug cartel. They're mercenaries, they're very well trained with heavy weapons. They're descending on our little town, which is a town that maybe has a population of 4,000. And this sheriff and his deputies are not at all equipped to take on such an enemy. And so it becomes kind of the story about the underdog, about someone that is not expected to win, and then in the end he has to succeed in order to save his town. So that's basically what it is. It's an underdog type of a story, or type of a movie. And with some funny incidences, which of course, again, Johnny Noksville is responsible for.
Hello. I just want to say that his character may be older, playing older, but on the set and with all the stunts and just leading everyone, he went twice as hard as myself or anyone else. I can't keep up with him. He's in incredible shape. Me? Nah.
Добрый день, Арнольд. Заигонное собеседие. Скажите, пожалуйста, вот вас уже можно смело назвать народным артистом России. Скажите, пожалуйста, вот командировка актера в Россию отличается чем-то от командировки политического деятеля? И не обещал ли вам Путин как гражданство, или же, может быть, и звание народного артиста, как недавно пообещал Арнольд?
No, I did not have the discussion with the president. But as you know, that our tax structure in the United States is different than in France. You know, I always enjoy coming to Russia, and I think that he knows that, and Medvedev also knows that. And I think the people of Russia know how much I love Russia and coming to Russia. It doesn't matter to me if I come here to promote a sport. I will be back here for the Olympics, for the Winter Olympics. I think Russia in Sochi is going to do an extraordinary job. I think the world is going to be blown away by the great kind of, what great hosts they will be, and what great events they're going to have there, and how well we built Sochi. And I love coming back to promote my movies, or to be in a trade mission as governor, to become as a politician. Makes no difference to me. I just love coming here. It's such a beautiful town, Moscow. It's such a huge and historic place. You know, Russia itself. I mean, it's an extraordinary place, and the Russian people are very hardworking people, and so I appreciate them. I appreciate the different culture. I appreciate the differences between the thinking of the Russians versus the thinking of the Americans or the thinking of the Austrians, and all of those things. So I'm today very happy to be here again.
Олег Шишкин, Багетина. Ну вот у меня такой вопрос. В фильме все время звучат фразы, значит, я вас видел, кажется, в кино, говорит персонаж Джонни Ноксвилла, или про Терминатора постоянно упоминаете. Скажите, а все-таки вот насколько вам сложно в связи с этим было возвращаться на старое место работы? Имеется в виду кинематографическую карьеру?
Yeah, it's in a way it is like riding a bicycle. You know that it's easy to get back on the bike after 10 years, but at the same time one does have concerns. You know, does the audience, do the fans still accept you? And like I said, that to me this was the first starring role again. And it was a wonderful movie to work on, and we had, as Johnny says, a very talented director, Kim Ji-woon, who is from South Korea, is the king of action movies in Asia. And he was a great addition, and to have him there, even though his English ability was limited, but he had two translators there, and we had no problem understanding him or communicating with him. And I think he did an extraordinary job with the whole thing. So it is strange in a way, and you know, to go back. But then again, I felt like I was welcomed back with open arms. So I'm very happy to be back again.
Здравствуйте, Арнольд. Наталья Петина, 1+1 Украина. Скажите, пожалуйста.
Okay, good.
Как давно вы ходили в кино? вот так по-семейному, с попкорном, что смотрели?
I think the last time I saw with popcorn and with my family, it must have been maybe 3-4 years ago. Because I have a screening room at home in my house, and so most of the movies we watch at home, and I have my children there, and I have my children's friends come over, so we usually have around 15 or 20 people in the theater and watch movies that way.
Ребят, пожалуйста, задавайте вопросы про фильм, про конкретный, который Арнольд и Джонни приехали представлять. И не забывайте вопросы Джонни, но по одному вопросу, пожалуйста. У кого микрофон с той стороны? Пожалуйста.
Just a second. Just a second. Yeah. Go ahead. You.
Микрофон.
Thank you, Арнольд, спасибо вам большое. Скажите, пожалуйста, всех героев, которые вы играли в кино, какой вам больше всего близок по душе?
I think that in Kindergarten Cop, the character that I played in Kindergarten Cop, where I played a cop and also a kindergarten teacher, I think that character came the closest to who I am. I would say the second one is maybe, well, the second one probably is the character in Predator. When they go into the jungle and then all of a sudden they discover this monster, the Predator. You know, that character that I played there is also very similar to, and that's kind of the way I would have reacted, and that's the kind of things I would have done if I would have been under the circumstances. I wish sometimes I could be the Terminator, but I'm not. Because if I would be the Terminator, the great advantage would be that I would not have to sleep because I'm a machine. Because I hate the idea of sleeping because we waste so much time, you know, with sleeping. But I mean, we would be so much further ahead if we could just learn something during the time when we sleep, or have another job or something like that. I think that would be cool. But it's not reality. It's just, you know, an idea. So, but I enjoyed playing the character of Terminator because he's a machine. This is indestructible.
Евгений Креницын, «Вечерняя Москва». Господин Шварценеггер, как вы именно готовились к фильму, чтобы сыграть достойно инспектора Рэя Оуэнса, как вы тренировались? Российские поклонники, которые ждут вас внизу, около отеля, попросили меня лично пожать вам руку, насколько крепка проверить рука и Арнольда Шварценеггера, инспектора Рэя Оуэнса. Возможно ли это сделать?
First of all, let me just say that the reason why those parts fun for me to play is because my father was a police officer. So he was in law enforcement. And that's why when you look at my history of movies, you will see that I've played many different types of law enforcement personnel. I played FBI agents, I played secret agents, I played sheriffs, I played police officers, I played undercover agents, I played police chiefs, fire chiefs, and all of those things, because I think my father always wanted me to be a police officer, and my dream was not to be stuck in Austria and to be a police officer. I wanted to go to Hollywood, and I wanted to become a leading man in movies, and I wanted to make a lot of money, and I wanted to become somebody bigger than just being a police officer. And because of that, I played many times a police officer. And yes, you can come out here and shake my hand.
Я хотел задать вопрос. Да, сейчас рукопожатие.
О май гад!
Я хотел задать вопрос Джонни Ноксвиллу. Джонни, хочу узнать, как такой крутой, серьезный мастер боевиков, как Джонни Ноксвилл, работал с таким замечательным мастером комедий, как Арнольд Шварценеггер?
How did me as an action hero? Well, I was in awe most of the time. Yeah, as I said, I was very intimidated to work with Arnold, but he was very sweet. And the moment when I'm in the bus, we're shooting it out with bad guys, and I'm feeding the bullets into the machine gun. That wasn't me acting. That was just me, Johnny Knoxville, smiling because I'm doing a shootout with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I was not in character at all. So it was a great honor for me to work with Arnold. Thank you.
Пожалуйста.
Голубчик Александр, Филмзру. Вопрос к Арнольду. Когда в прошлый раз Дэнни Девито приезжал в Москву, спустя несколько дней был анонсирован сиквел фильма «Близнецы». Какой сиквел, какое возвращение вашего героя следующего будет объявлено после вашего возвращения из Москвы? Спасибо.
Well, first of all, I would just say that when Danny was here and he mentioned Twins, the sequel, he's absolutely correct because Universal Studios is right now having written this sequel to Twins, which will be called Triplets, and Eddie Murphy is going to be the other character, the third character in that mix. So you figure it out with the same sperm to have all of a sudden this kind of mixture of different people. But I think that's why it is a comedy. It's a funny concept. They're going to come up with a good premise and a good story. And hopefully by the end of this year we will shoot that film. Another film that they're writing right now, which is also the Universal Studios, which is Conan the Barbarian. They're writing another Conan script. The new leadership of Universal Studios is a big believer in those sequels, and you know, they want me to do those films, so I'm looking forward to doing those films.
Два последних вопроса, один слева, один справа, пожалуйста.
Я хочу вопрос задать Джонни. Вы на своем шоу «Чудаки» всегда подшучиваете друг на друга. Было ли что-то подобное с коллегами по площадке «Возвращение героя»? И вообще, какая атмосфера творилась на площадке? Спасибо.
On the set was really open and fun because he walks on the set and he's having a ball, and when the number one on the call sheet walks on the set with that attitude, it just makes it fun for everyone. And I didn't prank of course I didn't prank Arnold Schwarzenegger because he bench presses 700 pounds and he would break me in two. I have a lot of respect for him, so I don't prank him. But it was a really fun movie to make, and yeah.
Hello, последний вопрос.
Schwarzenegger. Hello, господа. Меня зовут Антон Зорькин, я ведущий утренней программы «Активная жизнь» на канале НТВ. We are back. И мой вопрос относительно вашего героя фильма. Он активно пользуется оружием. Вы в реальной жизни купили танк. Зачем?
Very good question. When I was 18 years old, and I was in the Austrian army, I became a tank driver, which was always my big dream. And so my dream became a reality. And I went for 1 year in the army, and for 1 year I drove tanks. I had the greatest time learning all how to drive all the big vehicles, trucks, and 16-wheelers, 18-wheelers, and all those things until you become a tank driver and learn how to drive tanks. I mean, there are many maneuvers with the tank and everything, so I got somewhat attached to my tank. So now I go to America. I go through my bodybuilding career, and I go through my acting career. And now it's 1990, and we are now getting involved with Planet Hollywood, with a restaurant chain. And we thought it would be cool to have in front of the restaurant my tank from the Austrian army. So it was a long process, very difficult process to get that tank. First of all, to find the tank, because by now the tank was an old tank and it was not being used anymore in Austria. But the Austrian military, with the permission of the Americans, and sent the tank, found the tank exactly with the number 331 on it, and sent it to America. And I had to pay for the shipping, but the rest of it was a gift from the Austrian army. And then I had it refurbished in America because it was an American tank. It was 1955 when it was the treaty and Austria became independent. America gave various different countries all over Europe American tanks. This particular one was called the M47. It's the patent tank. It's from the 50s. And so we sent that tank over to America. We refurbished it, put new engines in it, put good tracks on it, and repainted it, and it looks like brand new, and it's being used all the time in movies, or it's used mostly also by me, driving children around and having visitors come out. I just recently had a press conference out there, and I drove all the press around with the tank, and we had a wonderful time. So it's not really considered a weapon per se, as a fun vehicle. As a matter of fact, the cannon doesn't even shoot, because you're not allowed to shoot a cannon. You know, driving around Los Angeles shooting a cannon would be, I think, somewhat against the law. But I mean, it's a fun vehicle to drive around with. So thank you for the question.